What's up YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias and today we are taking my Nikon Zfc paired with the kit lens on the streets of London in order to do some nice street photography. So if you follow this channel for a while, you know I'm based in Athens, but I went for a week in London in order to see a friend of mine, and of course I had to take some pictures. So this is going to be the first episode of my London series of street photography and travel photography. So if you want to see more shots of London taken with the Nikon Zfc, or if you just want to see my adventures in London, then definitely subscribe. Maybe even hit the like in these videos, this really helps me out, and I will try my best in order to pump these videos out at least once a week, if not even faster. So for our first shot of the day, I found this van over here in the middle of the roads. Let me just say that I love the roads of London, they are so magnificent. And of course I had to take a quick shot of this beautiful little van in the middle of the road. A quick disclaimer, I'm doing a voiceover in this video because the wind was so strong and the audio was basically useless. So yeah, what can you do? So for a second shot, I wanted to shoot this interesting looking alley over here. I love the yellow lines on the left and on the right, and also the beautiful looking tree in the middle of the alley. Luckily we also got a person in our frame, which kinda made the image a little bit better. In the next scene we got a few snapshots of this gentleman over here walking his dog. The second shot was a little bit overexposed, but what can you do? These are some nice warming up shots in order to get the rust out of our hands. And in the next scene over here, I tried to frame this huge building far away on the sky between all these leaves and branches and trees and stuff like that, and I kinda like the final look of it. So about this next scene over here, what caught my attention is basically first and foremost the orange jacket of this worker behind the rails, and luckily enough this woman was looking at the same direction with this person as well, so I tried really quick to frame both of these persons in the same image. Next up, what caught my attention is basically this yellow looking building over here on my left, and I tried quickly to compose an interesting looking frame. Sadly we don't have any persons in the frame, but what can you do, it's a simple picture with two layers. On the right we got the yellow building, and on the left we got the road and some more buildings on the background. In this next situation, what I wanted to achieve is basically have in the same frame this woman on the left with the orange jacket paired with a woman on the right with the yellow bag. Sadly this never happened, so I focused on the biker. So this next street over here is basically the reason why I really love the streets of London that much. Basically you can see that these huge buildings are creating this separation between highlights and shadows in the middle of our frame, in the middle of these streets, and if we place correctly our subject we can create these dramatic looking eye-catching images which will tell the story of the streets way better than some other flat images. These photographs right here might not be the best example of this technique, but you will see throughout the video that I will try to use this technique in some different lighting conditions, and you can see that we will create some beautiful art using the contrast of the highlights and the shadows in our favor. can call me crazy, but one of my favorite images for some reason is this next one, where I basically got these red cones interacting beautifully with the red lines of the street, and we also got some white highlights on the cones and the streets as well. So I don't know why, but this really looks satisfying to me. In this street over here, you can see that we have again this harsh separation between highlights and shadows, and I will try again my best in order to capture some movement between these lines. Let me know down below if you think I was successful in this case. I think the first vertical ones weren't that successful, but the second set of pictures with this guy walking right into the shadow look fine to me. In this next scenario, I was waiting for something interesting to happen, maybe for the sun to come out again because the light was really flat at the moment, but luckily enough we got a few really nice shots with a biker paired with one of these beautiful looking red buses here in London, and in this case I really love the soft backlight that we have in this particular scene. Once again, you can see how quickly the light changes in the streets of London because the clouds are moving way too fast, but in this case we have again this really harsh separation between highlights and shadows. And let me know below if you prefer the colored version of this shot over here or the black and white one. Personally, due to the fact that we have this harsh contrast, I tend to like more the black and white version. Obviously this wouldn't be a successful London street photography session if I didn't include some nice black taxis and also some beautiful looking red buses. So in these next two scenes I will shift my focus on these two objects. I really love the background in both of these scenes. We have this beautiful soft backlight and also this huge brown building adds a lot in these compositions. Alright everyone, I hope you really enjoyed this first part of my London series. Personally, I think we got a few really nice images, and I will play a montage of my favorite shots after I stop talking. If you enjoyed the video and you are new here, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. This really makes a huge difference to me, and also if you're feeling generous, a like on this video would really be helpful. This really affects the algorithm greatly. And lastly, I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you that choose to spend some of their minutes of their lives by watching my videos. This really means the world to me. Thank you once again. And yeah, that's all I have to say for you guys today. Thank you so much for being my company, and I will see you all next time. Take care, you guys. Peace.